So welcome to episode 4. So remember I talked about earlier on is repair is one of the ultimately most important things that you can do in your relationship. But as you repair more frequently and as you have cleared a lot of the past energies and resentments in the relationship, which takes time, consistency, and also more of a stability to be able to continue to time and time again go after um, not letting the conflict take up more space than the good times, and not letting the conflict take up more space than connecting and relaxing and being with your nervous system comfortable with the other person. Can you imagine if, and I'm sure you can, if for 20 years the person walked in the door every day and you felt like, oh, we're gonna have some kind of snappy exchange, something is not right or they're in a bad mood and I'm going to feel terrible. And I was just in a really calm space before they showed up. And then let's go into the reels. This is the real stories that I have mentioned in. I have a library skills for couples, which I hope you'll take a look at. It's in some of my YouTube videos series. But one of the things I was saying about the reels is that we each have a story going on, and it's really important to be able to tell the other person what our story is, and for the other person to listen and then come into empathy that way. Like, oh yeah, this is how you see that. This is how you interpret that. I get it, and I'm going to be more sensitive to that. And when I do that, I'm going to continue to remind myself and you that I'm going to be practicing new behavior and this is an agreement of mine. And I'm also not going to connect this to all the other disappointments that I've had with you. So if you're trying to repair something, you can't suddenly go into, and you have this other thing that you need to do for me, because then we miss each other completely. Let each person take up the space they need to talk about what repair they need, do the repair for them, and then focus on yourself. So we're differentiating like our needs and our focus on ourselves and the need for time for that, and also the other person doing that and having time for that, but not crisscrossing it in the same conversation, because what does that lead to? That's a fight. When you're defending yourself, you're fighting, okay? You're in conflict. So give each other the space that you need to go through the whole scenario of the story. And the more that the repair happens quickly, more frequently, as the new habit, as a new discipline, as a new mindset, then the more trust and intimacy and consistency in the relationship, like, wow, the relationship's consistent now. I can count on it. So when I hear you come in, you've repaired enough with me, and I understand how you feel when I come in and I'm acting all like, oh, I'm in trouble and I don't have your needs met and I haven't really done the agreements that we agreed on, that you're riled up. And so then you do that and I do this and you do that and I do this. So I'm aware of that. And the more times that we come in and the evening went well, the more that the other person or you can let go of the thing that bothered you, the trigger, because you trust that it's not going to last. And you trust that you see that other person and you're starting to read their consistency as um, your capacity to get closer to them and their capacity to keep showing that they're trying. And eventually it softens over time, over practice. And practice is very much like whatever we do to try to get better at. We have to practice. It's not just one and done. We had a good conversation. We had a productive conversation. We got through that conflict. No, it's constantly doing it. And if you need some time to do what I love to call is that you do an assessment of how you did. Oh, how did I do with that last night? Did I feel like we really completed that I was accountable enough, that they were accountable? Do we have to have, is there some energy still in that? Do we have to talk about it again? Or can we say, yeah, I that cleared it. Thank you. That was good. I feel like I've let that go pretty quickly. Or I noticed you let that go fast, and that was really helpful to me because then I could settle down. So what, like our nervous systems are reading each other constantly, right? And so if one person's upset, the other person's going to do their thing, their old dance. If you start calming yourself down and being able to handle whatever it is, even if it's the reoccurring habit, I don't want to do that with you. I really want to have some good time with you. Hey, yeah, I can see that we're getting riled up. Let's take a break. And remember, we're really trying. We really both want to spend time with each other. This is important. What can we each let go of? I'll go first. I will let go of this. I will do this more. So there is a little bit of energy coming towards as soon as we feel like there's a little understanding and acceptance of what our story is. And if we feel like we get a little empathy, we can soften. But we have to give it to the other person too. We can't just be, um, I need you to understand me. We have to understand the other person too. Which gets me into the next thought about repair, which is to make sure that you have levels of repair if it hasn't let go, right? If we can't get to it, that means there's another level to do. Agreements to differentiate the past from the present and to start with follow through. So there needs to be like, we're going to let go of that fight for 20 years, right? We're not going to keep bringing that up. We let go of it. We talked through it. We understand why it happened. We symbolically understand why it happened. This is different, right? We are trying to do something different. So let's differentiate the past fights and all of the dings on each other to be like, can we clear the slate? So what does that look like? A cleared slate to you and your partnership. To just wipe that slate clear and feel like, oh, I can just be with this person and feel much more open to them. What would that look like? And I ask this question to people because I really feel like sometimes we don't envision what repair and letting go of resentment can feel like, it looks like. We've never done it with this person before. And maybe we have, and then we thought, oh, we got tricked, they didn't do it, and we got into the same fight. So I want you to think really carefully too about who do you want to be in this relationship? Like if you had the highest level of connection with this person, who would you want to be? Would you want to be someone who's gracious, kind, calm, predictable, fun to, you know, um, someone who's generous, someone who's social? Would you like to look over at them and feel attracted to them? Would you like to look over at them and see them feeling attracted to you? Would you laugh a lot? Who would you be in this relationship? And maybe you've been in connections with other people where you felt like, hey, I can be so much more myself, and I really like who I am when I'm with this person. So if you're starting to feel like, hey, I really want to like who I am, I don't want to feel like I'm this person defined in the past. I really want to feel like I'm a person defined in the present. And then I got to wipe the slate clean of all maybe the ugly things that we said to each other. Then you really have to imagine who you want to be. So if you start digressing, regressing into that old person that didn't feel so happy and didn't like who they were when they were with the person you're with and you're working on your relationship with, then how can you just remind yourself of that and really step into that new person? Um, really give yourself a chance to stay in the wipe your slate clean mode. And some of that is with the higher level of somatic therapies and really being present and doing the neuro pathway what should we say? Regeneration of the neural pathways. That you don't have to think and feel about these things the same. You can have sort of a higher level of thinking about these connections. A lot of times people tell me, hey, they got together young, they've grown up together. They had to get their financial scene together. Maybe they were drinking too much in the first early days. They were irresponsible, and the other person did all the stuff, but they really like walking into being a much more responsible, caring person. Will stay with that. And that practice of staying with who you are now is a practice of tending to the relationship that you have with yourself. The most important relationship of your life is the one you have with yourself. It's the most influential relationship you have. in all of the relationships because you have the influence on yourself directly. You can take care of yourself the most. And for you to be this well taken care of person who knows themselves well, grounded, calm, knows what you want, very clear about what you can and can't do, and having boundaries. This is a place to cherish, right? Yourself and to bring that to the table. There's the way to keep the slate clean, right? Is to bring the very healthy relationship with yourself to your relationship all the time and doing your own inventory about when you kind of relapse into old behavior and mentioning it to the person that you're with.